What's up, Tino? From Stoked Fields on YouTube. Jason Paige here. Gotta catch 'em all, Jason Paige. To sign your card, your base set Pikachu. Here we go. Be the very best. Bam. I wanna be the very best for Tino on YouTube. Thank you for getting your card signed by Jason Paige. Gotta catch 'em all, Jason Paige. Thanks, Tino. From Stoked Fields on YouTube. Check it out.
All right, what a way to start a video off. I don't think I really need to introduce who that was because he was part of all of our childhoods if you grew up in the 90s. But that guy who signed this base set Pikachu for me was the original singer of the Pokemon anime theme song. Gotta catch 'em all. So here's a card that was signed by Jason Paige. Be the very best. I just had to do it. I would wait to hear those 4 words after school every single day.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was.
But yeah, we just turned this base set Pikachu into an amazing experience, memories that we'll have for years to come, and of course, these Stoked Fields. This is amazing, and I can't believe I got this signed by Jason Paige. Shout out to him. Thank you so much for signing this card for me. And if you guys want to get your cards signed by Jason Paige, check out the link down below. You can basically send him your own cards, or you can pick some off his site and he'll sign them for you. But I am definitely looking to pick up more signed cards like this, either by people from the anime, people that are involved with Pokemon, artists. I'm a big fan of getting things signed. This whole room is full of signatures of different artists, different actors, musicians that I look up to. Can't really explain it, but it just gives me the Stoked feels of seeing their work signed. So super stoked about it. But you guys probably came onto this video because you saw the title that I've spent over $4.5 grand on Pokemon cards. And I've done a video like this before where I spent around $4,000 on Pokemon cards. Well, I just bought some more from the WotC era, so the old vintage cards just like this base set Pikachu right here, and some modern stuff as well. So it's going to be really fun. I'll show you guys every single thing that I've picked up, and make sure you guys stick till the end because we have some serious fire that you're not going to want to miss. All right, so let me put this Pikachu in a card saver. And yes, whenever PSA does open up again, I'm definitely going to get this card graded. Bam, that is freaking awesome. All right, let's get this show going here. This is just the first stack, and for some reason they sent me a baseball card. I'm not a fan of baseball. No hate if you guys like it, but let me know what's up with this card. If anyone knows anything about baseball, let me know what your thoughts are about Lance Dixon. So yeah, got a baseball card. All right, let's go. We have an Abra that was sent to me as a gift, I believe. We have a Rainbow Energy, the non-holo version of Team Rocket. We have a challenge from Team Rocket, and this card's pretty sweet. If you look there, you have Machamp, you have Hitmonlee, Arbok, Snorlax, Victory Bell, and Muck, all in one card. That's some pretty sweet artwork. We have a Dark Magneton from Team Rocket. So a bunch of Team Rocket cards in this stack here. Dark Machamp, non-holo, Dark Golbat, Dark Dugtrio, which if you guys remember, we actually ended up pulling a holo first edition Dark Dugtrio in the Team Rocket booster pack opening that I participated in with Premier Pokemon. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely check it out. But this is the non-holo unlimited version. We have a Dark Dragonite, Dark Hypno right there, Dark Blastoise, Dark Arbok, and then of course, here comes Team Rocket. Some of my favorite characters from the anime for sure was seeing Team Rocket come in and mess things up. And when I say mess things up for themselves. This is the holo version. So there's not much holo on this, so you can barely tell the difference. But yeah, I'm just building up my unlimited binder Team Rocket set. I still need to pick up a lot of the holos, including the Dark Charizard, but I'm very close to completing that set. So really excited. Right here we have an item finder from base set 2, Victory Bell from base set 2, Snorlax from base set 2, Pinsir from base set 2. So a lot of base set 2s here. Pidgeotto, Scyther, and this pretty much finishes base set 2 for me. We have the Raichu right here, really cool card, and Pidgeot. I really do love this card. All right, moving into Fossil, we have Zapdos non-holo, and for some reason I always thought that looked like a carrot when I was little. But Zapdos is my favorite legendary bird of the trio. We have Mook, we have Lapras non-holo, Magneton non-holo, Hypno, and this is the non-holo, but if this was even the holo, it'd be so tough to tell the difference just because of that dark background. We have Haunter, and same with this one as well. That dark purple background makes it difficult to tell them apart. Gengar, and here's a Gengar holo. Such a nostalgic card, man. I actually ended up pulling this as a kid, but it was damaged, so I wanted to get one that looked a little bit nicer, even though it's going in the binder. Not getting any of these graded. We have a Raichu right here, Fossil, Venomoth moving into Jungle now, Vaporeon, non-holo. We have a Pidgeot, non-holo, Nidoqueen, non-holo. Mr. Mime, he was so funny in Detective Pikachu. I freaking loved him in that. We have Jolteon, Victory Bell, and this is the holo version. And by the way, Victory Bell has one of the most funniest noises that it makes. Like, have you ever watched the anime? Listen to Victory Bell. I'm not even gonna try to impersonate him. We have Pidgeot, and as a kid, I was able to pull this card with a no jungle symbol. So it looked like if it was from like base set. And I was always confused as a kid, thinking that it was from base set. This is the only copy that I had. So I actually ended up sorting that card out separately in a different collection, and that's why I picked up the one with the symbol. We have a Flareon rookie card. This was the first time Flareon was ever featured in the TCG, and it is the holo version. I really do love those colors in the background. It's like a little rainbow. It's a really awesome looking card. All right, and the last one from this stack right here. Been looking for this card everywhere. So difficult to find in a decent condition, as you guys can tell from the back. Yeah, there's a couple whitening there in the corner, top right corner there as well, but it's not terrible, right? Like, you can see this card, it doesn't have like any creases, no real rough edges or anything like that. Finally found one, super stoked. Here it is, we have the pre-release Clefable. Now, this was the card that was released right before Jungle as a promotion for Jungle, and they had Clefable as like the mascot. So it has the pre-release stamp right there, and this helps me complete the pre-release set. So I have now the Clefable, the Aerodactyl, Dark Gyarados, and Misty's Seadra. And there are rumors out there that the Raichu pre-release exists, although it's never been confirmed, but I do have at least all of the confirmed pre-releases from back in the WotC era, and I'm super stoked about it. And not only that, but I just completed basically Jungle, Fossil, Base Set 2, and I'm almost done with Team Rocket. No man, when I first started collecting Pokemon cards a few months ago again, since I was a kid, collecting Base Set and collecting some of these other sets that came after it seems so distant, but I am so happy that I've been able to collect so much in the past couple months, and I'm finally able to complete these sets that I wasn't able to do as a kid. All right, so a couple more vintage stuff, and then we are moving into more modern. Here we have a sealed Legendary Birds promo card, and inside is the Moltres. And I'm definitely looking to collect more sealed promos just like this from the WotC era, as well as more modern sealed promos, but especially from the WotC era, because this stuff right here is a piece of history. So I got that, and then also, speaking of Legendary Birds, I have a Zapdos right here. But if you remember, Base Set, Fossil, and Jungle all used a different holo pattern than Base Set 2, which introduced the Cosmos holo pattern. But if you look at this one right here, it has the Cosmos holo pattern. So you're wondering, how does that happen? Well, this is actually from a deck. I think it's called Thunderstorm, and it has the Cosmos holo pattern. I thought this was an error, but somebody corrected me and said, no, this is actually from whatever deck. I picked it up. I have it in the card saver because I'm not sure if I want to grade it or not, or put it in the binder, but it does look like it's in pretty good condition. So I'll have to make up my mind at some point, but definitely glad I picked this up. And speaking of Fossil, I got a first edition Fossil booster pack right here. with Aerodactyl in the front. And this pack was actually advertised as a light pack, so most likely if I open this up, it won't have a holo in it. But I bought this so I could grade it because I am looking to buy more packs and then have them graded with PSA and have them slabbed forever to preserve them. Because like I said, all this stuff is a piece of history and I want to do my best to help preserve them, whether it's getting them slabbed or just putting them in a binder that I could go through them over and over again to look at them throughout the years. So yeah, I got this pack, and I also got, ready for this, a first edition Neo Genesis booster pack with Meganium in the front. And this was actually from a pack break with Premier Pokemon, who I did the Team Rocket pack break with as well. And I ended up pulling a light pack. So instead of opening the light pack, they ended up sending it to me sealed. That is why I only break with those guys, because they are amazing. If they open this pack up, I would have lost pretty much all my money instantly, or most of it. But instead, keeping this sealed, I'm able to send it off to PSA, get it slabbed, now I'm able to just sell it off, or I'm able to keep it in my collection, which I'm going to end up doing anyway. So yeah, let me show you guys some of the modern stuff now that I picked up. So when Battle Styles was first released, GameStop did a promo giveaway of this Flapple. Now, have you seen this one here? It's from EB Games, which is basically the GameStop version for Canada, and they have their own stamp right there. So I picked this one up. It has the Canadian flag right there next to EB Games. And I actually think this one looks way better with the color there. I don't know why GameStop didn't add color to theirs. Another promo I picked up is this Detective Pikachu from the DVD. Some of the DVDs actually came with this card, so I was able to get this for pretty cheap, and it has the stamp right there, Detective Pikachu. So I think I'm gonna need some more room here because I don't know if all this stuff is gonna end up fitting here. Let's do another stack. Here we go. Right here we have a random Espeon that somebody ended up sending me for free. So I love that people just end up throwing gift cards. That sounds weird. Not gift cards, but cards that are gifts. That's what I meant to say. I think that's pretty cool that some sellers do that. Here we go. We have a Pikachu General Mills from 2016, I believe, or 17, a couple years ago for sure. So there you go. It has that cool hollow pattern where it looks like, basically they remind me of cereal. I think it looks so awesome. Here we have the Hatenna General Mills promo from this year actually, and the holo in this is a little bit more subtle, so you can't see it as much as the other one. Here we have the General Mills Pikachu that we also got this year with the 25th anniversary stamp right there. Such an awesome card. Same card that's in the Darkness Ablaze blister. And then I picked up a bunch of McDonald's cards. This is from 2019, so you have the Eevee. Here we have the Lapras, and you can tell the holo pattern in this is different than the General Mills promos. We have an Alolan Executor, that long neck, big tall palm tree Pokemon there. We have an Alolan Meowth chilling at the beach. We have a Caterpie, or some people like to call it Caterpie. Makes no sense at all. Alolan Dugtrio with those golden locks. Beautiful. Here we have a Gastly, very classic Pokemon. And all of these cards, I got them for really cheap, so don't think I spent too much on these. They're not worth a whole lot, but I am looking to just collect some of these old McDonald's cards since I just collected the ones from this year. So I have a separate binder for them, so I'm just putting them all in there. They're not in mint or near mint condition. They're just whatever. Some are light played. But yeah, if I could find these cheap, I'll pick them up, but I'm not going to spend a ton of money on them. Although I must say, if you're lucky enough to get a PSA 10 in any of these, then kudos to you, because all of these cards were pretty much in terrible shape to begin with, because the way Pokemon packaged all these stuff and sent them to McDonald's, a lot of these cards got really beaten up. So I wonder how many of these cards exist in a PSA 10. Here we have a Slowpoke, chillin'. We have a Cubone right there. Here we have a Crawl Brawler, a Boxing Crab. We have Oshawott. And so now we're pretty much in 2011. This was when McDonald's first started collaborating with Pokemon and started making these cards. So these are old, man. These are 10 years old. We have a Pidove, Tepig. We have a Turtwig. And as you guys can see what I was talking about, there's like a mark on the side there. the back, you probably, yeah, you could see some whitening over here. So they're not in the best of shape. But like I said, if I can get them cheap, then I definitely will pick them up. This one is actually not a McDonald's promo. I think they just ended up throwing it in there. So another free card. This is an Alolan Diglett from 2017. Another Crobrawler. Here we have a Porygon, a Yungoos, and last but not least, we have a Cosmog. I didn't buy all the ones that I needed, but I did buy a good bit of McDonald's cards right here. And now I kind of want to break things up a little bit in this video. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 McDonald's promo cards. I wanted to show you guys how poorly they were packaged and how difficult they must be to get a PSA 10 if that's something that you would want to do. Me personally, like I said, I have a binder for these. I'm not looking to get any of these cards graded. And the reason why I want to pop these open and not keep them sealed is because just look how terrible they're packaged. I mean, these are not even gonna do well sitting on the shelf without like some sort of card protector. So they smell funky. But yeah, let's go ahead. We'll take them out here. I'll show you guys some of the toys. We have a little Rowlet. So let's see. I think if you wind it up. Oh, I got it to work. There you go. A little wind up toy that comes with this. Now I must say I'm not a big fan of McDonald's, obviously, because I'm a vegan. And the only reason I would ever go in there would be because of the cards. And in fact, the only reason why I went to McDonald's in like 10 years or more this year was because of the cards. And I think they did a really cool job. But yeah, I'm not about to go crazy over these McDonald's promos because like I said, you're better off spending your money on some of the vintage stuff. I mean, you see what I'm talking about? The card is like so bent and just in such bad shape, but it's a good thing I got these again for really cheap. So we'll go ahead, we'll sleeve it anyway and we'll add it to the pile. So that's Poplio. And in the bag you also get a little Rowlet paper coin thing, and then it gives you directions on how to actually use the toy. All right, let's go with this one right here. Now this generation I guess had these clips, so I guess you could put this in here and then you could shoot it. Wow, that is less exciting than the Rowlet, but it is an Alolan Sandshrew, I believe, right there. And the way this is packaged is a little bit better. You see you got the cardboard there, you got the plastic baggie around it, much better than the other one. But the way they did it this year with their own booster packs was the way to go for sure. All right, well, here we have a Mankey from 2019. All right, let's go with this. We have another Rowlet toy, and oh my god, look at that. What are you guys thinking? PSA 10 worthy? I think so. That is ridiculous. 4 cards, man. Hopefully a lot of kids got to play with them at least. I think I'm putting this in a binder because whew, this one is beaten up, dude. There you go. A Cosmog, a McDonald's Pokemon card from 2017. The toy in this one is different. I think we have an Omega Shenron right here on a flying Nimbus, and you can put this in there and there you go. That's what it does. Nice Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon crossover. All right, this Horsey is not looking terrible. It's a little bit out of shape and not something that you would pull out of like a booster pack, but can't complain when it comes to some of this McDonald's quality control, I guess. There we go, cute little Horsey. And then last but not least, I think this one is definitely worth the most. Oh, and it also has the little clip-on toy right there. All right, and in this one we have the Pikachu from 2019, and I really love this card with the rainbow right there in the hollow pattern. I think it is actually a really cool card. It does have a dent on the bottom there. It's not hard to believe the way these cards were stored. It's a shame, but yeah, sweet card for the collection. All right, let's keep it moving because I do have more valuable stuff that I actually want to show you. Here we go. We have a Piplup Toys R Us promo, and Toys R Us released a bunch of these promos with their stamp on there. Piplup was the only one that did not come sealed, so finding a good copy of this card is pretty rare. I looked around and I really would love to have this card in a PSA 10, but just FYI, if you're looking for this card sealed and you can't find it, there's a reason, because it never became sealed. Let me show you what I have in this pile. We have a Charmander Toys R Us promo, and this is the same exact card from Evolutions, except with a hollow pattern and a Toys R Us stamp on it. This is such a sweet card. I love that. So I got this sealed. We have an Electabuzz again from Evolutions, and all these cards are hollows, by the way. Even if the original versions of these cards were not hollow, they all come in hollows. We have the Alolan Vulpix, such a cute little card, man. I love that. And I love the little twist that they did with the Alolan versions of the Kanto Pokemons, just giving them a random type. So turning Vulpix from fire into ice. Here we have a Jangmo-O, and man, I gotta say, Toys R Us, that definitely gives you the 90s vibes. I miss that store a lot, man. So many good memories in that store. We have a Stuffle here, and yeah, I'm super stoked to have these in my collection because, I mean, Toys R Us is where I bought a lot of my Pokemon cards back from the day. I bought my first Game Boy and yellow version from Toys R Us. I can remember those days going in there with my parents and buying a bunch of Pokemon stuff from Toys R Us. So to have both of them collab and have these pieces of art forever is priceless, man. Here we have a Clefairy. This is from Generations. So it was a 20th anniversary set that had come out. Here we have a Pikachu, again from Generations. We have Magikarp, Cosmog. And I feel like we've seen so many Cosmogs today, but this one has to be the coolest from the Toys R Us promos. We have another Cosmog, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is another Cosmog. So these were relatively cheap, so I bought a couple of them. All right, so if you guys made it this far, sticking to the end, I said it would be worth it, right? Now I would show you guys some fire. Here we go. So definitely by far the coolest stuff that I picked up in the past couple of months has been the CD promos. And I got this Venusaur right here. It's in a PSA 10, and this card, which I'll show you guys some more here, are from the CD promo. And basically it was a CD that had come out to promote Pokemon back in '98. So these cards came in that box with the CD, and these cards were actually released before the English base set. These cards were produced to promote basically the introduction of the TCG in the USA and in other English-speaking countries, because it actually featured one English shadowless Yellow Cheeks Pikachu in there. So anyway, so I thought this was really cool. I had to pick this card up. And of course, following Venusaur, we have a Charizard in a PSA 10. And of course, I had to get Blastoise to complete the trio. And we have all of them right here in a PSA 10. How awesome is that? These cards right here have to be some of my favorite Pokemon cards of all time because they feature the most nostalgic artwork of these Pokemon. Just look up the artwork on the base set booster pack. This is the same artwork that's featured on those 3 different types of booster packs. And these are also on the base set booster boxes. These are by far the most nostalgic cards for me. The only artwork that was released in English was this Venusaur, and I'll actually show you guys here in a second. All right, let's see. So if we flip to this page where I keep my promos, this Venusaur right here, this is so hard to get on camera. This Venusaur right here is the exact same one that was featured on the CD promo. That was the only one that we ever got in English. And if I tell you guys how much I got all these 3 cards for, you guys are gonna freak out. I picked up all 3 in total for around $1,000. If you look up the prices of one of these cards, I bet you it's going to be around $1,000. So you're looking at probably $2.5 to $3 grand for the whole set. In a PSA 10, of course. Now you can find PSA 9s, PSA 8s, you know, for that price, but I am so stoked, and I looked everywhere for this. I did my research until I found a price that fit. Now, the only thing is, this Venusaur right here is in the newer type of slab, and the Charizard and the Blastoise are in the older type of slab. So I would like to get both of these re-slabbed for the newer style, and not only for consistency, but also the slabs are a little bit beaten up They're a little bit old, they're dirty. So I would like to get these reslabbed. PSA will keep the same grade, so I don't have to worry about risking, you know, getting a lower grade on these cards. But yeah, these are definitely some of my favorite cards in my collection. Just looking at these scream 90s to me. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and seeing some of the pieces that I picked up to add to my collection. If you enjoyed this video, rock smash that like button, hit the subscribe button for more videos just like this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, keep chasing those Stoked picks.